Hi, Miss Morphew here. Remember, a good student remembers things, but a genius writes them down. So take notes, put them in a good content management format that you figure out, and take personal responsibility. If the biggest lesson I could give you would be that you need to be personally responsible as you are a college student, and you have to balance that, many of you, with high school. Honestly, I may be a teacher who really gets students engaged and shares lots of different ways to know what will go on or how we do things. And other professors may not work so much at this forced interaction. I believe communication is interactive, but you need to know how to read the syllabus and use your course outlines or calendars. Beyond being fearless in finding and using resources for your academic success, as you get through your first hours of college credit here, I want you to know that it's your actions that are going to determine how successful you are. I hope you are curious, that you plan and you organize using whatever tools and methods work for you, that you listen and ask questions, and you take notes you can use while you reach out to all of the people and resources like professors, administrators, guidance counselors, library, learning center, all those people and places that will help you get things done well. It is your actions that determine your success. So we are finishing our final week of COM 2025 in our Express class. We've done a lot to navigate using little speech assignments online, and we've talked and worked with each other. This week, we're going to hit the CBI, the Cumberland Business Incubator, because it goes with our informative speech, and it has resources that are important for all Cumberland-Roane State students to know. We have a new course outline for this week. And I want you to use it. Teachers are able to see how many times you log into your momentum, how many hours or minutes you've spent, and how much content you've looked at. So I want to know that you are really going to those course outlines and using them, whatever class you're taking. This one is formatted differently. I've been asked to try out the HTML model that we had for last week, for week 1, and this week I put up a format that I had been using in previous classes. So by the end of this week, I'm going to ask you, which style may be more helpful to students? Another thing that's listed on day 6 is that there's a lot of things due on day 7. Many of you are already done with all 3 of them, but there's going to be some online conversations that you might continue to do. And certainly I'd like you to put observations, connections, ask questions to each other, and I love how some of you have actually answered questions. The TED Talk 2 final paper is due. Many of you have finished that as well. So when you see our course outline has for homework, these little lines where you could literally put a check, go ahead and check off things you've already done, and you'll be able to see what things you still need to do. I'm going to put in news not only this vid, but also 2 other vids that you should watch. One is 8.5 minutes, and it is actually made for my online class, so some of the days are wrong. It says you have to do a speech vid. We're not doing that, but it has some really strong information. I'd love for you to make sure your speech plan, your outline, and your presentation ideas align with that. Pay attention specifically to some of the common feedback I give on outlines, and I hope if you finished yours already and uploaded it, that you've read that book I wrote to you with some tips and ideas. Remember that it's speaker's prerogative. Use the ideas that people give you or don't. That's your choice. And I'd like you to also watch the video called Librarians Know Their Stuff. It's 2 minutes, so go ahead and watch it. It's important for you and librarians' information, like when do you call them. We're going to do 2 speeches this week. One is an elevator pitch where you ride the elevator with Kim Harris, Director of Workforce Development. And the other is a very important, more in-depth speech. It's the one where you show everything you've gained throughout these couple of weeks, that you are going to convince us to take an action. Monroe's motivated sequence of persuasion is based on psychology, and there's 5 steps in there. And I hope at each of those steps, of whatever the problem is, whatever your solution is, and what the world would look like, that visualization of, and if everybody did this, if you took my action, the angels would sing. All of that's going to be really well supported, so that by the end of your persuasive speech, we're going to want to take that action. Yeah, we're going to call to action. If I could give you one big tip, because when you're doing a speech and you've got to remember when to switch the slide or use your cue card and say your quotations, we sometimes forget that it is the audience response that matters. So if you try to look every one of your audience members at different times during your speech in the eyes, you can see if they're engaged. And if they aren't engaged, you might be able to ask them a question, like the girl said on the speech of all those graduate students who told us about T-Rex arms. At the end of this week, you're going to get a printed course evaluation. It'll be anonymous, so you don't have to sign it. There's just a few questions. At the end of each regular long-term class, you'll actually get an online survey from Rhone State, but they don't do those online surveys for express preterm classes or for early start or early late, or excuse me, not for early start and not for early late. So there you go. You'll be able to tell us what was effective, what was not, what was less effective, or what did you not use, and how we might be able to keep doing the good things and fix a few things that need improvement. So your feedback, kind, specific, helpful feedback will be very helpful on this. See the little picture there? That's Dr. Whaley and Dr. Diane Ward. Whaley is the president. Diane Ward is one of the vice presidents of student learning. And they're conferring the graduation certificate to one of our students. I believe she was the top student in the spring who won the President's Award. So there's all kinds of little external honors that you can gain by your great achievements. She has a lot of little bling on her there. Those honor stoles, little ropes for certain societies that she's in and things, are actually bling you can earn, like from being in middle college. You'll get one of the little rope ones that's gray and red. So honors projects, honors graduate. Honors projects for COM are due on Monday. That means you're going to go and there's 3 little websites, click, 3 little forms to fill out. Very brief. The last one is something you're going to fill out and print so I can sign it and you can sign it, and then we'll scan it and send it to Dr. Sylvia Pasteur so you can be enrolled and get credit. I say on this slide that we're likely going to share those projects on Friday. That will depend on how many people actually choose to do the projects and how much time we have left, but we're going to plan on that as we can. I want to remind you just a couple of things about college in general. Whether you're doing online courses or a hybrid where you're online and in person, or just in person, you can be in sync at high school and at Rhone State. Engagement, research shows, increases one's success. A couple of ways to be in the know in Rhone State is this little weekly thing that comes out in your RadarNet email called JAM, Just a Minute. Dr. Chris Whaley often puts out these videos. It used to be weekly. I don't know if he'll do that on the regular term or if that was just a spring and summer thing because of COVID and all. But those videos from Chris Whaley maybe 6 to 8 minutes max, and they really let you know what's going on. And Kim Harris, the Director of Workforce Development, will tell us about Raider Recruit, and I'll show you some things about Raider Recruit. All of that is so you can stay in the know. And all you have to do is scan the headlines to see if it interests you. But it'll show you what's available. And you can choose to join, or, like some of my students who wanted the Ecology Club at Cumberland, you can suggest what you need or want. Couple more pictures and the idea that we do have social media at Roane State. Cumberland has a Facebook page. Roane State has a Facebook page. Students have created a Facebook page for looking for in search ofs or questions about teachers and different events and things like that. So all of that on social media. Our athletes use Twitter pretty exclusively, and they've even got an Instagram, but I haven't explored that a whole lot yet. Skills USA we have. So Kim Harris and myself and Adriana Musser are in that top picture right there because she's the woman that won silver at the state with the prepared speech, and we've got some mechatronic dudes who won some gold up there. Then we also have the Ecology Club work with Rotaract and the Obed Watershed Community Association. That's a middle college student right there, Autumn Edwards, and she was helping with the tree distribution. When we were giving out trees, we were distributing trees. So that happened at the Cumberland campus. Again, stay in the know, and you may want to join some of these events. And it also looks good on a resume. I know you probably get tired of people saying that, but if you like the external motivation, there's pretties for that often. Do keep clear of clutter. So that means clear those discussion boards, clear those emails on Momentum and in RaiderNet. Just mark them as read if you don't want to delete them. I don't like to delete, but I mark things as read. And look for the opportunities that you want that are going to help you towards your goals. Remember that your teachers have office hours, and those means these are exclusive hours when they say, I'm available for students to be able to help students. If you have any questions this week, let's talk. If you have questions about another class, if you have anything that you need to know how to do or how to connect with, come and see me. Certainly talk to those different professors. And I wish you well. We've only got 4 more in-class days, and I look forward to seeing all of your presentations and learning.